I wondered if I would ever get to make another Freaky Friday, because wherever I went in the world, people would talk to me about it. It's just a given. And my joke always was, well, we have to wait until Lindsay's old enough to have a 15-year-old child, and then we can make a sequel. And then we figured out that she was old enough to have a 15-year-old child. And so here we are. So I wondered if we were going to be able to, but, you never know. And whether Disney, whatever. So, yes, I always wondered if we might be able to, and yet I was hopeful, but it required math, and I wasn't very good at math. So I was just hoping.
Well, when I heard that they were making a sequel, I wanted to be in on it so bad. The only reason I had even heard about it was because one of my friends was auditioning for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to audition for it. And thank God I reached out and did, because now I'm here, and it was the best time of my life. Best summer ever.
I always hoped if we did a sequel that I would be able to it would be a little bit like muscle memory. You know what I mean? Like I would be able to slip back into tests. But I didn't know prior to reading the script and really learning about what the movie was going to be, that really who I was going to end up switching with was a 15-year-old English girl, fish out of water kind of beauty influencer kind of girl. And so that part of it was a little more complicated for me. It was a little more of a subtle shift. The original teenager that I played was pretty tropey and easy to slip into, because she was sort of this stroppy, angsty teenager, and that was sort of easy. Maybe also because I had a 15-year-old at home at the time, and so maybe, I don't know. But this was a more subtle thing. But obviously I know who Tess is, and Tess is, a therapist, and, that part of it was easy. The pretending to be Lily was more subtle and certainly challenging.
Yeah, I mean, preparing for Lily was, I don't want to say difficult, but it definitely required work, not only because of the accent. And Manny and I both worked with the same dialect coach whom he had worked with before, and she was lovely. But also, I think it was important for me to really humanize Lily, because when you read her on paper, she could easily just be this mean girl from London and kind of annoying and one note. But she actually has so much depth and a lot of vulnerability that she covers up with all of her interests and all these beauty things and fashion and really wanting to be smart and good enough. And I think that was honestly the most important thing for me, because I wanted her to have depth. I didn't want her to just be this mean girl who finds herself in this ridiculous situation, because, a body swap movie is fun and funny, but those moments are what's really important.
That's why you got the part. That's why you got the part.
Thank you.
Because there were some women who came in who kind of did play it like that, and you didn't. Just telling. That's why you got the part. You said that. I love Lindsay Lohan. I have stayed in contact with Lindsay since we made Freaky Friday in 2003. She was 15 years old. And the movie came out and she was 16. And we have stayed in verbal phone texting. She has a wicked Bitmoji, emoji game. And we have seen each other over these 22 years many times. She will come to Los Angeles we will see each other here. I'll go to New York, we'll see each other there. She lives in Dubai, so it's harder to see her, but she brought her baby to Los Angeles. And way before we had announced that we were making the movie, she came to Los Angeles and brought little Luai. And in fact, when she brought Luai over to my house and I met Bader, we took a picture, just the two of us, and I posted on the Instagram. And that was the picture that really got the energy started. That was really what got the energy started. Like, people loved seeing us. So we've known each other and seen each other for a long time. But more than anything, I think we both know that we care about each other, that we trust and are safe with each other. And that's something, obviously, that we have tried to establish, because it's show-off business, right? It's a lot of business. And it's a really transactional business. And there are a lot of people that want things from you. And there's a lot of pushing and pulling and, you know, a lot of looking around. And it's really important for me, personally, to make sure that we stay real with each other. And certainly it's going to happen with these young ones. And it certainly has happened with me and Lindsay.
I truly never thought that I would see the day that we would do a sequel to Freaky Friday. I never believed in my heart of hearts, not because the movie wasn't good. The movie was great, but I just felt like we had tied it up in a nice, tight little bow, and I didn't see the possibility of them making the same mistake twice. You know what I mean? I was like, I think they learned their lesson. I think they're good, but there's more than that lesson in life. The universe will test you multiple times. It's really an ultimate lesson here. But couldn't have more gratitude for the moment and the opportunity to come back and reunite with everybody. Just full of love, seriously.
I was a fan of the original film. When I heard that I could even just have a meeting with the director, I was ecstatic. Not only because it's Freaky Friday, but it's also because of Nisha Ganatra, our director. I'm a huge fan of her work and her movies. So I was more than happy to hop on board and kind of give what I got, whether it be comedy, heart, or a little 2-bit dance move. I was more than happy to
2-bit.
Then to
Burned up
contribute.
the dance floor. There's nothing left.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely excited to join the family.
I mean, it was a very heady experience, believe it or not. And when I say that, it's just because I was trying to analyze everything about somebody who I hadn't thought about in 22 years, right? I mean, it'd been 23 since we had shot, so here we go. What has he been doing? Where is he? I got to reevaluate where he would have gone, what he would have done, and we had to try to build out what was there, because this is such a complex film. There's so many moving pieces with 4 people changing bodies and all the different things that go, so you can't muddle it too much with Jake, because it will throw off different things. So we had to find a way to really figure out who he was, where he's been, what he's been doing, and what his wants and needs are in this life, and I think we figured that out.
Yeah, my character, Eric Davies, is coming from the UK. He's a single father, bringing his daughter into the mix, into America. They're trying to find a new life in this new place. And it so happens that Eric also finds love in Lindsay's character, Anna. So it's navigating a new life experience, a new love, and a possible new family. And it's just all these family dynamics trying to make it work. Do I relate to the character? I mean, it's the first time I'm playing a father. Very intimidating. I needed some advice for sure. But it definitely gave me a glimpse as to what that could feel like, and I'd say I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, if that ever comes along. Yeah.
The thing about Freaky Friday that resonates most with audiences is that it's really grounded. Yeah, okay, it's a body swap movie. We get that, okay? But outside of that, it's a grounded story about family.
Mm.
And whether dysfunctional or not, we all come from one, period. Okay? And so you grow up and you experience good, bad, or mundane, whatever that may be. And there's a character in this movie for everyone. You can identify with a situation, scenario, or an individual in the movie and say, oh, that feels like me. And if you're not on any of those fronts feeling like there's a piece of you, then you're still laughing your butt off at the insanity and the hilarity that's ensuing. So it's just, it feels good. And you can have it on the background, you can have it in the house, filling your house with joy. It's just a dang good movie.
Yeah, it kind of stands up for itself, regardless of whether or not it was a sequel. It's just a good, solid story. Oh, it's like the other character in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you can really have that same feeling without it being in LA.
Yeah. I would say that I took for granted when I first moved here. I was in Gilmore Girls, did Freaky Friday, I did Cinderella Story. They were all here. They were all here in Los Angeles. And I remember it was distinctly shooting at Pali High, shooting Freaky Friday, and walking around and shooting on that campus. And its framework, the way that it becomes a character in this movie, like it's a part of the movie. Environmentally, like everything about it, it brings energy, the light, the sun is different here than it is anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? And it's a character in this movie. So it couldn't have been done anywhere else and been the same film. And now it kind of lays here as a tribute to a beautiful city and a beautiful part of the city that's now gone. And who knows if or when it will be the same, but I can tell you that it will forever be held up through this film. You know, everything from the Coleman home to Pali High to the beautiful neighborhoods and the beaches, everything right there. Yeah.
I know it's been 22 years since Freaky Friday's been a global hit at the box office. I didn't know if I would see this day, but I'm sure happy that I did.
I was absolutely a fan of the original film, and when I heard that they were making a sequel, I was so excited because I couldn't wait to see it as a fan, but I also couldn't wait to be a part of it once I found out that that was possible.
Slipping back into the role of Anna felt very comfortable for me because I've also aged with Anna as the character, so it was easy for me to relate to who she is today, especially being a mom. So it came more naturally than I expected.
My character, Harper, I immediately read the script and they told me I could audition for both Lily and Harper, but I immediately fell in love with Harper because I felt that if I could play either role, that would be the best one for me. And so it worked out.
Jamie and I have remained in close contact over the past 2 decades, yes, so we've always remained close. She's a very important person in my life. I love her dearly. And so working with her again felt like it was yesterday. I think the part of the story that resonates with audiences still is that it has a lot of heart, and the message of walk a mile in my shoes is a very important one. And it's a learning lesson in life that we all eventually come to find out and see what we understand the value of it. And I think the movie, the heart factor of it is like the mother-daughter relationships and the paternal figures and maternal figures that you have in life are very important. And we try to show that in this movie.
I think what made Freaky Friday so special was the nostalgia that people could get seeing it in the theater and seeing it now, having grown up with the characters and watching them and seeing where they are now. And I think that I think that the family aspect is held up so much, whether it's chosen family, paternal relationships, maternal relationships, sibling relationships. There's so much you can learn about a person when you empathize with them, and I think that definitely has stayed relevant through the years.
Because the story is, both films were shot in Los Angeles and take place here. They take place here, and it's so important that we filmed here because we want to show the beauty of Los Angeles and the way of life. It had to maintain in Los Angeles for the sequel because that is part of what makes Anna and Tess who they are.
A sequel now because Lindsay Lohan is in full effect with her Lohanessence, and Jamie Lee Curtis is on fire, and now is the time that we need joy, we need laughter, we need to be reminded of what it's like to love one another and to hold each other a little tighter, and I think this movie does that. I am a huge fan of all the Freaky Friday franchise. I loved all the movies from Jodie Foster's to Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay to the one we've done now. I love all the Freaky Friday movies so much. Okay, Jamie Lee Curtis is perfect for this role because she is the icon who, you know, originated, I think, this role of Tess and Dr. Coleman. And so bringing her back and watching her grow from being a very frustrated mom into a grandmother who has so much wisdom and is trying so hard to do right by everyone is just joyful to watch. And Lindsay Lohan is now a new mother. And so watching her grow from the teenage nightmare daughter to a mom who is trying so hard to do her best and do things differently than Jamie, her mom, did it, and failing and also succeeding, it is just the right time. I think they're all in such incredible places in their life, and watching them bring that personal life history and wisdom and lessons for all of us to see in this movie is just it is the right time for that. We all need lessons from Lindsay and Jamie. What is it that resonates with audiences at Freaky Friday? I think what resonates is this fantasy / nightmare of switching places with your mom and having her be able to see what your life is like and being able to see what hers is like. I think that is just a really shortcut to this empathy machine that is movies. And it is like really resonant to think about that, to really just walk in someone else's shoes and really figure out like all the things you think you know about someone, what's going on with them. So many other things are going on. And I think this is like incredible wish fulfillment too for moms and daughters to be like, oh, she gets to see how my life is and how much I love her and care about her. Because I think so many times we utterly fail at expressing our love for our parents and our kids and our friends, and we feel it, but we just can't find the right words, especially with teenagers. So challenging, I think, on both sides. I mean, I remember being a nightmare teen daughter, and it's just that fantasy of a time machine and the swap where you can go back and you can feel, and this idea that you can feel the love for each other is really resonant. It's so important to me to shoot in Los Angeles. It is an amazing city. It is where Hollywood was born. It is where all of the best crews and all the incredible actors live. Like the artists that come together to make a film here, it's like nothing else in the world. I think it's just such an incredible place to shoot and film. I mean, other than it just being beautiful as every location, the diversity here of people, of looks, of talent, it just can't be beat. So it's so important to shoot here.